Rheinmetall, a German weapons manufacturer, has offered to revamp and deliver up to 50 Leopard 2 main combat tanks to Ukraine, as well as train Ukrainian tank operators. The fact that this is a private offer from a firm rather than a country limits the possibility of a reaction from Russia. But Russia would be well aware that an agreement of this magnitude would not be authorized without the permission of the German government. The Leopard 2AZ is the latest in a long line of German tank designs that began with the small Panzerkampfwagen I, which was built in secret owing to the Treaty of Versailles restrictions. The Panzer I was an unsightly vehicle, but it was the first of a line of armored combat vehicles that included World War II's devastating Panther and King Tiger tanks. In many respects, the Panther, the precursor of the modern main battle tank, set the template for post-war Western tank designs. The Leopard 1 was the first post-war German design, and it established the benchmark for Western tank designs when it was launched in 1965. Originally, Germany planned to replace the Leopard 1 with the NBT-70, a tank developed in collaboration with the US. However, as it became evident that the NBT-70 was a colossal failure, Germany created the Leopard 2 while the United States Army built the M1 Abrams. The German configuration of the A7 version includes an improved mine protection kit developed for the A6M version, the addition of a programming unit allowing the firing of the DM11 high-explosive ammunition, and the adoption of a third-generation thermal imager in the commander's periscope. Taking it a notch higher than the A6 or A4, A7 also got a completely new man-machine interface based on digital control units and the incorporation of the IFIS, or Integrated Command and Weapon Deployment System, battlefield management system. The usage of the Rheinmetall DM11 round, which, owing to its programmable fuse, gives considerable operational flexibility and is effective against a wide range of targets, including infantry in the open when deployed in airburst mode. The new L55A1 120mm smoothbore cannon, which has the same chamber capacity as the L55 but is approved to operate at a greater pressure, has increased firepower even more. This enables the use of cutting-edge kinetic energy munitions. A brand new full-digital electric gun slaving model was implemented. The A7V includes a revised hull with enhanced internal protection modules, and a new protection package has been put on the chassis top as well as the front glacis, bringing chassis protection up to the level of the turret. To accommodate the extra weight, the tank was redesigned and reinforced with new running gear, including new torsion bars and tracks. A new final drive was added, giving the tank the same acceleration from 0 to 30 km per hour as the A4, although the top speed was decreased from 70 to 60 km per hour, as the maximum speed is less significant tactily than the acceleration at a lower speed. The new running gear is intended to endure battle weights up to 69 tons. The gunner's WBG-X thermal sight has been replaced by a third-generation Hensoldt Attica GL. The driver can now drive forward and backward using Hensoldt's new Spectus multispectral system, which integrates thermal and low light level cameras, both with the same field of view, with two images being fused according to the situation to provide the best image. The A7V incorporates a combined MBC conditioning system in the turret for cooling the circuitry and the turret itself, as well as a secondary cooling system in the chassis for the driver. KMW created an RPG protection package, which was used on tanks sent to Afghanistan. It was effective against common threats like RPG-7, but it couldn't handle high-level threats like Kornet anti-tank missiles. KMW began researching the integration of an active protection system into their MBT around 6 years ago. The Leopard 2 parent company, believed that passive armor packages had outlived their usefulness against the threat of the hollow charge, with current heat warheads capable of penetrating over 1,000 millimeters of rolled homogeneous armor. So, it began looking for other solutions. Rafael's Trophy active protection system, which is mounted on Israeli Merkava 4 MBTs, was chosen. It was first tested on a Leopard 2A4 for testing, where it effectively destroyed incoming RPG rockets and anti-tank missiles. In the case of the Commander's periscope, KMW is thinking of adding the Perry R17A4 with a Class 1 laser rangefinder. While a third-generation Attica Z thermal camera is now usable in the Commander's periscope, and a similar arrangement has been installed in the gunner's night sight, KMW is evaluating a further development, moving from the 640 by 512 pixel thermal sensor to the full HD 1280 by 1024 pixel sensor, the Attica M2. Furthermore, due to the availability of stronger and more dependable optronic sighting equipment than the gunner's original WBG-X, a debate concerning the necessity to preserve the optical channel is going on. An ongoing assessment program includes jammers and laser warning systems, or LWR. Jammers used to combat radio-controlled IEDs have already been fitted into Leopard 2s, with such systems being required not just to counter RC IEDs, but also drones, one of today's growing dangers on the battlefield. When the tank is targeted by a laser, LWRs offer a warning. If the laser is from an illuminator or a beam-riding weapon system, the crew can take some proper precautions, and countermeasures such as multispectral smoke screens can be engaged. KMW is installing several such technologies on prototype tanks to allow its clients to conduct a thorough assessment of what becomes accessible on the market. One is the Leopard 2 AZ EDA, the European Defense Agency's attempt to maximize the current MBT abilities by accumulating available weapons, which will assist those nations with shortfalls in their heavy armor inventory. The program, launched in spring 2017, envisions upgrading original tanks to a familiar A7 standard, equipped for all options but not with all of them, and then a lease-rent scheme in which those countries with extra armor capacity would provide the tanks to those that have few. This has been done to conserve the number of MBTs in Europe at the existing level. The number of tanks has decreased from 15,000 to 5,000 in the last 20 years, and a further decrease is considered unacceptable. The other program is the EMBT, or European Main Battle Tank, which is built on a Leopard 2 chassis and has a Leclerc turret with an autonomous ammunition loading system, reducing the tank crew to 3 personnel. A technology demo of the EMBT was displayed at Eurosatory 2018, with the industry estimating that it would take 4 years from signing the contract to become a real product. In response to growing Russian challenges in Eastern Europe and a renewed emphasis on tank development, Germany has launched its Armored Vehicle Project. It is unknown what the next German tank will appear like, but if the Bundeswehr is not allowed to use depleted uranium ammo, it will likely have to upgrade to a 140mm cannon. The tank has come a long way with the advancements over time. Only in 2016, it was embarrassed and its shortcomings glaringly exposed. Turkey purchased the German Leopard 2A4 tank in the hopes that it would be able to combat ISIS anti-tank missiles and homemade explosives that had previously destroyed several of the country's M60 Patton tanks. The tanks were unable to withstand the enemy's firepower, with many Leopard tanks destroyed in the counterfire. During the conflict, 11 tanks, 3 infantry fighting units, and 1 armored personnel carrier were damaged. Later, the Islamic State released a document online that showed photo evidence of the loss of 10 Leopard tanks, 5 of which were destroyed by anti-tank missiles, 2 by mines or IEDs, 1 by rocket or mortar rounds, and the others by more unknown reasons. Turkey was enraged by the revelation and requested that Germany swiftly improve the Cold War-era main battle tanks with new underbelly armor and missile protection features. It required the installation of an Active Protection System, or APS, which can detect an approaching missile and initiate countermeasures. Turkey quickly discovered that its tanks were no match for a terrorizing guerrilla force, and their technical superiority had evaporated. The modifications requested by Turkey had already been implemented in newer models of the Leopard 2A4 tanks, including the addition of a strong floor plate by Rheinmetall. Experts believe that the 2A4 model was built to fight in a completely new fighting environment, where armored divisions are followed by infantry ground troops and other support vehicles operating in fast-moving compact groups. Leopard 2s, being Cold War-era inventions, were not designed to handle IEDs and missiles fired by ambushing militants in long-term counterinsurgency efforts. The 2A4 maintained an earlier boxy turret shape that provides less protection from current anti-tank missiles, particularly to the normally more susceptible rear and side armor, which is a significant issue in a counterinsurgency context when an attack can come from any direction. Even though it is one of the best options available in the market, what remains to be seen is how effective can it be in the face of one of the best military in the world.